Hey, it's Ryan. It's Saturday morning in Texas, and we're gonna go pick up some trash by the side of the road because it's a very philosophical thing to do. So the part we walk every day here has like no trash. It's really when you get further, about a mile in, that the trash starts to show up the most. So I've told you guys before, every morning I go on this walk with my kids. We live on this sort of dirt private road. So I go on this walk, and usually I pick up like little trash when I see it because it bothers me. I do the same thing when I'm at the beach. But down by the sides of the road, usually it's covered up by like brush and stuff. And as the leaves have fallen off the trees, it's gotten very visible just how much stuff people have dumped down there through the summer. There was bottles and cans, carpets, pieces of beds. There was a bunch of tires. So we decided this morning we were gonna go pick it up. There's this Marcus Aurelius line I really like, and he says, "And you can commit injustice by doing nothing." And I think when you read that, or we've posted it on Daily Stoic's Instagram before, you tend to think that it's talking about really big events like racial justice or climate change, like on a big scale, or something like that. I also think it's like, how many times am I gonna walk by this litter before I'm complicit by the fact that I've done nothing about it? And so we decided we were gonna go get it. We got like one of those sticks that janitors have and road crews, and we got a claw. And we went out this morning, got the kids ready for our normal walk, and we went to go pick it up. It was a little cold. They wanted to come back inside, started raining. The kids were not having a good time, and we ran out of space. So we've decided to stop and come back to round 2 with some reinforcements. Are you excited? Also started dumping dead animals. At first I thought it was like, okay, maybe someone shot this hog or someone shot this deer and they didn't want to get rid of the carcass after. But then in a span of a couple months, there was like 6 or 7 dogs. And you can smell them as soon as you get close, and then you'd see them. They dump dogs. I think there might have been like a dog fighting ring or something out here. And so in one of the culverts, I found a bucket that someone had clearly dumped an animal in. We found skulls from a dog. We found a bunch of miscellaneous bones. I mean, it's hard. It's like, I love it out here, and I love how beautiful it is. I love Texas. But sometimes it's hard not to lose hope in your fellow human beings when you see what they're willing to do when they don't think anyone's looking, or when they think it's somebody else's problem. So like, I think we got 7 tires today, and that's not even a dent. There's like probably 20 tires in this one culvert, which I'm gonna get at some point. I've already taken like 10 or 11 out of there, and it costs money every time. Like, if you wanna get rid of a tire responsibly, you have to take it to a place, and they charge you like $3 or $4 to do it, which is why I think these people are dumping them. There's probably a tire shop down the street that just doesn't want to pay the recycling fee, and they're just dumping it. I understand the logic of it, but it sucks because it makes it my problem. But that's what Stoicism is. It's like, look, strict with yourself, tolerant with others. I don't really care what their reasons are, but I'm not going to allow it to go unaddressed. I'm going to do something about it. As the Stoics said, you focus on what part of it is in your control, right? So the global emissions coming from China, enormous corporations polluting the ocean. I can't do anything about that, but I can do something about my own habits and my own choices. And the Stoics would say you're obligated to do that. This idea of Sympatheia, that we're all part of this large whole. Seneca has this great Latin expression. It basically says the whole world is a temple of the gods. And sort of seeing the planet as this temple, as this beautiful space that we're obligated to take care of, I think has shaped my choices and some of my decisions as I've gotten older. The Stoics have this idea of our circles of concern. Like, first you start with yourself and your family, then your more immediate family, then your community, then your country, then your continent, and then the globe. But the idea that like caring about animals, caring about other people, not wanting to contribute to pollution, at least not wanting to make things worse, is really, really important. When I lived in East Austin, and I still run there sometimes, there's this old track. It used to be part of a high school. The high school's closed. But one of the alumni of the high school has paid to keep the track going. It's actually the football player Hollywood Henderson. And since he's paying for it out of his own pocket, he doesn't like that people don't really take care of it. And so there's all these signs up around it. And it's just like, call Hollywood Henderson if you see someone littering. But then my favorite sign, I have a picture of it, which I'll show you. He says, leave this place better than you found it. And to me, that's like a pretty good life philosophy as well. And I think that's what we're trying to do as Stoics and as human beings. It's what I'm trying to do as a neighbor, citizen, person that lives out in the country, is like, if I can just not make things worse, let's start there. But if I can make things better because I have the time, the energy, the resources, that's what I'm going to do. I've picked up a whole mattress there. I had to get a friend to come out and help me with to lift up this mattress, strap it on my truck. Then I had to pay to dispose it. But like, I know not only am I not the one contributing the litter to the road, but I'm helping make it better. It's also funny, while we were doing the trash yesterday, shortly thereafter, another neighbor got to work on the road and they laid down a new level of road base. So the way I see it is we're all doing our little part. It makes me so sad. It's just like, look, I totally get, you can live however you want. Your house can be as dirty as you want. I get people have different priorities, but you chose to throw that trash out of the back of your car, and you knew no one was going to clean it up. You knew it was going to end up somewhere. It's just, come on, people. But you realize, like, the sort of community, the civic-mindedness, this is not a thing that people necessarily naturally have. It's a thing that has to be cultivated, and that you can't really force other people to do it. Collaboration is so important, and neighborliness is so important. To be able to contribute, to help, to be of service is something you know is important, but until you really experience what the absence of it is like, you don't fully appreciate what it is. I've just tried to do what Marcus Aurelius is like, if you want to feel good and if you want to see good, you just have to do good. And it doesn't have to be major. You can just pick up trash by the side of the road. You can pay for somebody's coffee. You can provide health care for your employees. You can do things that no one is making you do, that you're not obligated to do. Marcus Aurelius says the fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good. And I just feel, like today, I feel amazing. I could have stayed home and worked. I could have stayed home and watched TV. We could have slept in. But I feel good that we got out as a family and we just did something positive. We didn't save anybody's life. Didn't even save any animals' lives, probably. But we didn't contribute to things being worse, and we might have made them a little bit better. And that's what Stoicism is about. When Zeno says, like, well-being is realized by small steps, but it's no small thing. I think about the guy who, I think it's Pete Frantes, who he's playing a baseball game, gets hit with a pitch, he goes to the doctor, he finds out he has ALS, he creates the ice bucket challenge. He dies well before, really any of the fruits of that labor are realized, but has made more of a difference in finding a cure for ALS than probably any human alive since the disease was discovered. And like, that's what a human can do, and that's what Stoicism is about. It's not despairing. It's not resignation in the way that I think people try to make it out to be. It's the decision to say, the immensity of this is probably beyond me. And even collective action may be unlikely here. But as an individual, I can take a singular positive step. I can make a tiny bit of difference. And in so doing, hopefully inspire other people, or I can create a framework for other people to follow, whether that's a hashtag, or in my case, creating a platform or a message to communicate to all these people. How can we make a small difference in our own way and move things forward as a result? To me, that's what Stoicism is about. That's what the history of Stoicism is. And that's why Stoics actually, for all the stereotype, have probably made more of a positive difference in the world than any other philosophical school. And you can be a part of that tradition if you choose, if you make the right decisions. And the other thing I think about, it's really the impact of what we were doing today. It wasn't the trash we picked up. And that probably isn't even netting even like trash we've accidentally or indirectly, put out into the world in the course of our lives. But in teaching our children to do it, that's multi-generational impact. And that's why the Stoics say you start at home, you start with your circle of control. And in this, we change the world, we make a difference, and hopefully make things better for people. So I thought I was done with this video, and then I went for a walk with my son today. Actually, it was a run. Today's New Year's Day. Went for this run, and we smelled this horrible smell when we got to the end of the road. And it's a dead cow that someone dumped. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Doesn't exactly restore your faith in humanity that someone would either kill a cow or have a cow die, and instead of disposing of it on their land or properly, would just throw it on someone else's road. But we don't control that. We don't control the trash they throw. We do control whether we try to take care of it and make it a little bit better. Hey, it's Ryan Holiday. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Every day I send out an email inspired by the best Stoic wisdom, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, all designed to help you live a better life. That's what I'm trying to do. The email takes 5 minutes to read. Over 300,000 people get it. That's the largest community of Stoics ever in the history of the world. I'd love to have you check it out. Totally free. Unsubscribe whenever you want, but I think you'll like it. Sign up at dailystoic.com/email.